Okay, good evening, everyone. This is the Landmarks Committee meeting of Manhattan Community Board 5. My name is Kevin Frizz, and I will be your chair for this meeting. As usual, our agenda will start with application presentations. Each applicant will give their full presentation. And after the presentation, we'll start with questions from community board members. After questions, I'll open it up to members of the public. Each member of the public will have up to 2 minutes to speak about the application topic at hand. After public comments, the committee will move to business session. In business session, the committee will debate the application and a resolution will be made and voted on to either approve or deny it. Once that resolution passes this committee, the resolution will go to the full community board at the next full board meeting for a vote. If the applicants choose, you may speak at that full board meeting to the public comment session, but you're not required to. Please contact the community board manager if you do wish to speak at that meeting. That vote of the full community board will be the official position of CB5, and that resolution will be sent to Landmarks Preservation Commission and any elected officials. At the very end of this meeting, we will take new business if there is any. We have one item on the agenda tonight, and it is a great one. It is the renovation of the Imperial Theater on 45th Street. I know I speak for myself and a few others when I say I was disappointed that Storm canceled our tour last night. Hopefully we can reschedule that. But thank you to Daniela and everyone else on the team who was helping to organize that and make it available to us on your day off. We definitely appreciate it. Before we do get started, but for those of you who are interested why the Imperial Theater is an interior landmark, who the landmarks community should know is relatively rare. It was landmarked in 1987 after two other original theaters in the early 80s had been demolished. The Imperial and others were then landmarked soon after to preserve the historical nature of the district. The Imperial itself was opened in 1923. So needless to say, it's an important icon. With that, I will turn it over to the team from the Imperial. I believe we have Valerie and Adam who are going to speak tonight. So take it away.
Great, thank you so much. Valerie Campbell from HSF Kramer. We're Land Use Council to the Schubert Organization. I'm joined tonight by Julio Peterson, who's from the Schubert Organization, and Gary Lee, who is the architect. Just by way of introduction, the committee saw actually the Imperial. It was about a year ago, maybe even a little bit longer, with a certain series of interior alterations that are connected with what will be a theater rehabilitation bonus for the theater. Those alterations were approved by the committee and the full board, and ultimately by the Landmarks Commission. They have not been implemented yet, and these are really additional improvements that are designed primarily to help to improve circulation in the theater. Like a lot of the older theaters, the Imperial doesn't have the sort of the lobby, the concession space, the restrooms that is really required. Some of the committee members may have gone to the Court Theater now that James Earl Jones Theater that is now has an annex and has some of the same improvements that are being proposed here. With that sort of introduction, maybe Julio, do you want to say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Sorry we weren't able to do the tour yesterday, but we'll try to figure out a time to do that tour. We appreciate your time. As Valerie previously mentioned, we had come before the community board and the Landmarks Committee of CB5 regarding the previous alterations to the theaters that was approved after doing further design development on the project, we have come up with a couple of other items that require that are impact landmark features in the theater, and we're here to present those to you. As Valerie mentioned, we have our architect, Gary Lee, who'll go through the details of those proposed alterations. We also have Anthony Kablonsky, who's our project manager, and Daniela, who's in our real estate office as well on the call. So we can probably move forward, Valerie, if you think.
Sure. Gary, can you bring up the presentation?
Yep. Are you all seeing the
Yes.
presentation? Okay, great.
Okay. So that's a historic photo of the interior. The next. So just to go on to the site plan, just to orient yourself, the theater actually is an interior lot. It has a lobby entrance on West 45th Street, but the theater itself is really located in the northern half of the block, and although it can exit onto 46th Street, the entrance is purely from 40. Sorry, it can exit to 46th Street, but the entrance is from 45th Street. Next. So this is the designated interior, and the purple is all of the areas of the auditorium and the theater that are regulated by the Landmarks Commission. And that's sort of shown on here. What you had seen previously for the orchestra was basically changes to the sound blocks on I guess, house left and house right that increase circulation space, some changes to the seating. And now I will turn it over to Gary so he can go through the additional changes. There's basically 3 primary changes that Landmarks is going to be looking at. The removal of the house right rear orchestra stair and the relocation of its significant features to the house left stair. An alteration of the first boxes on the house right and house left, which will sort of narrow the depth of those boxes because they interfere with sight lines and also make it more difficult to locate sound and lighting equipment. And then removal of exit doors on the balcony in the house right, which will provide more circulation space. So, Gary, do you want to go through these changes?
Yes. So we'll start with some existing photos of the theater, which hopefully you'll get to visit soon. But here's are some slides that really showcase the rear orchestra existing conditions. You'll see that the wainscoting is kind of the original wainscoting is covered up with a carpeted wall, and some of the paneling that you see in the upper portion of the rear wall has been covered up over the years. In this photo, number 9, you'll see the open house right stair, which Valerie previously mentioned that we're asking to be removed. And you'll see the more enclosed house left stair, both of which lead up to an intermediate level. As it relates to circulation, there currently is a pinch point between where the existing house right stair and where this rear wall behind the seating is of about 8 feet, which narrows down further to about 6 feet towards the center of the auditorium. And you can see here the bottleneck that it causes primarily during let-in, intermission, but also during show exit, where 2/3 or the full orchestra capacity have to funnel through the 8-foot gap there. So our proposal is the following. You'll see the existing conditions up top, what was previously approved in August of last year, and the new proposed, where we would recreate the wainscoting and the paneling that was originally there. You'll see the historic photo on the left, but we will reuse the railings of the removed house right stair and modify the existing house left stair. So the theater is still open, has an open stair up to the intermediate level and preserves kind of the aspect of what was previously there. Here are some photos of the railings that we would reuse on the house left stair and kind of a zoomed in version of the previous slide, kind of showing the paneling divisions of how we would achieve that, the replacement of the existing sconces. These are additional elevations that show the house right wall, where previously we had the stair remaining, but we were carrying over the detailing of the removed sound and light lock onto the far wall. But now on this bottom right-hand side, you'll see that the paneling is adjusted to accommodate the removed house right stair. And here are the following renderings showing the existing condition, the previously approved condition where we're restoring the wainscoting and the paneling above, and the new proposed alteration, which you'll see the existing paneling extends to meet at the corner. And here are the modifications of the house left side, where we would be basically opening the wall of the house left stair to really recreate the aspect, the openness of and aesthetics of the house right removed stair, including the replacement or including reusing the railings of the house right stair. This is an RCP that shows the highlighting of where the existing stair is by really isolating the panels in that region, but matching the ornamentation and plasterwork of the rest of the ceiling in that space. Now we will move into the next item, which is the opening of the house left lower balcony into the boxes. These are existing photos. You'll see that on the house right side, there's an existing opening that leads from the lower balcony to the house right boxes. But we believe that at some point the house left opening was covered up. So our intent is to reopen that up to create a kind of symmetrical image of the theater. So these two images are the existing, the previously approved, and the newly proposed opening house left to the boxes. The next item that we'd like to discuss is the shortening of the first box. You'll see in these existing photos that since the theater was built, that a lot of the technical productions have improved and also required a lot more space. So in this particular photo, you'll see that the speaker position and some of the more technical positions kind of cover up the decorative band around the proscenium. So by foreshortening that box, we think that the speaker position can be moved further off of the stage to really preserve the decorative band around the proscenium. These two are plans showing the extent of the foreshortening of the boxes. The general idea is that the spring point of the box would still remain at the joint location between the first and second box, but we would really just pull in where the boxed end meets the proscenium wall, which would allow for the speaker to shift further stage left and preserve the band. And these are some renderings showing how the band can now be visible by moving the speaker location as well as the foreshortening of the box. The third item is related to the house right balcony emergency exit. Currently, the emergency exit leads out into an exterior platform, which connects back into the narrow lobby. However, in our proposed scheme, the new enlargement would function as both the normal entrance and exit into the theater, but also the emergency exit. So you'll see that in the previously approved scheme that although we have 2 sets of double doors here, there still is a pinch point when someone comes through the doors and immediately ends up on the stairs to the lower balcony. So our proposal is to remove the doors that are house right and recreate the detailing onto the door of the sound and light lock to really improve the circulation bottleneck from 3 feet to almost 12 feet. Another thing of note is that the wheelchair positions have adjusted since the previously approved August scheme to what's shown here due to a mock-up that the Schubert organization did, where the scheme on the left would have resulted in multiple seat kills and behind as it blocks sight lines from behind, and this is a more optimal solution for the wheelchair position. Elevations showing the existing, previously approved, and a new elevation of what that wall into the enlargement would look like. And here you'll see the opening that's created by removing the doors that are currently there and recreating of those details kind of in the wall of the sound and light lock, but also recreating some of the panel details you see in the auditorium into that that niche. And these are some detailed door elevations and plans that really show how we are applying trim, panic hardware to match the aesthetics of what was originally there. And that is it.
Gary, do we
Yes.
have the overall plan that shows the new annex
Yes.
in here? I think that for members of the committee who may not have been there.
So I could just walk through briefly of
Yeah, that
what the
would be great.
orchestra condition looks like. So on the left is 45th Street and on the right is 46th Street. The existing lobby is about a 20-foot lot that is highlighted in red, and we are expanding the lobby space to roughly a 66-foot wide lot. The entrance sequence is primarily the same, coming in from 45th Street and then entering the theater through a new sound and light lock, which is now on the enlargement side instead of the theater side, in addition to restrooms with a greater quantity than what is currently there. On the intermediate level, there are currently restrooms on the intermediate level where my mouse is highlighting, but we are moving all of the restrooms from the theater into the annex and repurposing the space into patron amenity spaces, so bar, merch, seating, lounge seating. And then on the balcony plan, there are escalators from the orchestra level, which lead up to the balcony level with additional restrooms, bar, sound and light lock, which leads into the balcony seating.
Thank you. Does the committee have any questions?
Yes, thank you very much. That was a terrific presentation. Obviously, this is a very unique and interesting property, so we'd love to dive in. Just a reminder to the committee, we'll go ahead and move into questions now. The raised hand button is in at the bottom of your screen. You see a little react heart button, and the raised hand button is in there. For those of you who might not remember, but just to get it started, I wonder if you could speak a little bit more about the strategy behind the stairs renovation and the thought process behind renovating them versus trying to preserve a little bit more of the original work there.
I think.
If I may.
Sure.
When we were looking at it through our design development and talking to our operations folks and really seeing what type of bottleneck situation it created, that's really when we came up with that sort of proposal of removing the staircase and recreating it basically house left, and to maintain those landmark architectural features, but it's really an operational issue. We also added additional ADA seating to the orchestra level, which required that, based on the new design, that sort of rear wall there, it created more of a bottleneck. So that's really how we came about with the decision, with the proposed decision to, remove the house right staircase.
I would add that the rear of the orchestra, it's not a symmetrical design. The stairway on the right is different than the stairway on the left, which right now is obscured and you can't see. So, I think the thought was to keep the design concept and the historic concept of having a visible stairway from the orchestra, but really locating it in a place where it doesn't impede, access to and from the auditorium.
Yeah, no, just speaking on, personally, I think the railing looks terrific. I think it's it actually looks a little bit better, but I'm just, curious about whenever a major original aspect gets revised, what was the thought process behind that? So we've got other questions. Kieran, I see your hand first. Go ahead.
Hey, thank you. And thank you everyone for your time. My question was related to the sconces, the replacement of the existing rickety wall sconces. I just wanted to hear some more detail and rationale in terms of why they were replaced, and then how you went about trying to, I don't know if you tried to match like for like, or if you had a reinterpretation in terms of finish or lighting structure. So I just wanted to hear a little bit about that.
The commission had previously approved these new lighting fixtures. What's there now are not historic lighting fixtures. And so this will just be using the sconces that the commission has approved for the rest of the rear wall on the wall that will be created when the stair is removed.
I see. Were they I know it was already, as you said, approved previously, but do you recall if they were by rickety, like they were not serviceable or
I think they were not historic or original, and probably had been replaced. I don't know, Julio, when, maybe sometime, 10, 20 years ago. It's hard to say.
Understood. Say no more. Thank you.
Got it. Thanks, Kieran. Good question. Julia, go ahead.
Thank you, and thank you for this presentation. I'm just wondering if you can speak to the process and how exhaustive it was looking into the more advanced technology that's required and how it could be incorporated into theater operations without changing too much of the structure. Obviously, this analysis was made, so just trying to help us understand how you got there.
Are you referring specifically to the boxes?
Yes.
Okay. One thing that had happened was that under Landmark's rules that apply to the designated theaters, you can actually remove significant features for production-related reasons, and that was done at a staff level for many productions in this theater. So the first boxes you see on House Right and House Left had, they've been taken away, put in storage, reinstalled. And because it was such a continuing issue, it seemed more efficient to try to figure out a more permanent solution, and one that doesn't necessarily require the equipment to be placed where it obscures the proscenium of the theater.
Thanks.
Thanks, Julia. Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I think I remember Julio giving this presentation up at the 24th floor on Bryant Park.
Yes.
Seems like yesterday, but it's wow, time flying. So can you put up slide 30 for a minute? So I see a reduced, new proposal for reduced half the amount of exit. Is that gonna fly with the fire department and safety measures and stuff like that, taking away 50% from that exit? Number
Um,
one. I have some more questions too, but go ahead, one at a time.
One thing that you don't see in this rendering on the right is that there's another pair of doors to the right. If I go over to the plan, you'll see that there's still the same number and quantity of egress doors matching the same width of what we're proposing to remove.
Okay, so that was something I didn't notice, a trick slide, we'll call it. Also, did I notice in one of the presentation slides, escalators?
Not in the historic theater, but yes,
So,
it's in the annex.
all right, so if somebody is incapacitated, they can get up and down without disturbing the historic old theater. See, there was one other thing, but I don't remember. You can get back to me. Take Tony, he's got the good questions.
Yeah, that was a good question, Michael. I like the doors question. Tony, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. And thanks for pointing out the hand raising button too. I've never been able to find it, so thank you. Regarding the staircase, so we're removing the one staircase, we're repurposing the historic railing, and I guess it's a newel post possibly. Can you tell us how much of that in the new version on the other side of the balcony, how much of that will actually be original? Do you have to recreate more because there's more needed, or is there too much of the original?
Gary, I thought we had a slide that had a little more detail on that. Is that?
I think it would be this one shown on screen.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think the quantity would more or less be the same as what's there.
Yeah, yes, when we measured it and we looked at it, it's similar linear footage.
Okay, thanks. Going to the shortening of the balconies, it looked like in one of your plans that there were 4 seats there. Are you losing any seats in those shortened balconies?
We are losing those seats.
Okay. Are they have the seats all been replaced in the theater? Are those original at all?
The seats will be replaced as part of the restoration.
Right. But those were not
Those weren't
fixed
original.
seats either, right? They're just chairs,
Yeah,
right?
they're not fixed seats.
Perfect. That answers it. Thank you. And then last question, Kevin. The balcony door you're trying to I forget which side it was on. One side has the balcony door, the other side doesn't. You want to create one. What is the material of that door that's going to be put in? It looks like the door was opened in the picture. I couldn't quite see.
Maybe Anthony, can you answer that?
Yeah.
These were the exit doors from the balcony, I think, house right I have written.
Correct.
Right.
So
Okay.
they're hollow metal right now. Of how long ago these were installed, they're not original to the theater themselves.
Can I interrupt you for 1 sec? I'm sorry. Are you referring to the doors that are on the screen now?
Yes.
I'm sorry. So I must not be calling it the right thing. We had a shot looking down the stairs. One side of the theater had a door.
Oh,
The other side did not.
those are to the boxes. Yes.
The box exit. Yes, that's the door, the new door that I'm referring to.
Right.
Thank you.
And
Yep.
those, actually the new door Landmarks has told us is they can approve at staff level because it's restorative. So it's not one of the things that requires a certificate of appropriateness.
Are you able to comment on the material?
Well, it's not a door. I think
It's-
the photo is a little bit dark, but it's just an opening with a curtain.
It's what,
Both
yeah,
sides are the same.
Okay.
it's
Okay,
a curtain. Yeah, it's hard to tell from the photo, but it's actually curtain.
Got it. Thank you. I appreciate it. All set, Kevin.
Great. Thanks, Tony. Good questions. Robert, coming back to you. Go ahead. Oh, you're still on mute.
That same photograph, the area, the existing house left. Can that area be opened, completely, or it's just gonna be that little curtain on the right?
They usually have the curtains, so you could enter.
Right, but I'm saying, so that whole thing will be opened and then it'll just be the curtain, or it's just gonna be.
It'll
Yeah,
be
see,
Right.
the curtains.
okay. Why not open it up entirely?
Are you referring to like the whole width here? Or
Yes, yes.
I think the one issue is that what you're not seeing here is there are egress stairs that sit right above this opening. So we're limited to headroom there, which is why we need to keep it to the width that we're showing.
Got it. Okay.
Good question. Thanks, Robert. Karen.
Yeah, my question is about accessibility. If you can flip to page 28, it's not really our purview to check your counts of accessibility seats, but it looks to me like from this that you're taking away, I'm not sure, maybe two wheelchairs with two or a total of 6 companion chairs, where now there's going to be one wheelchair and maybe one companion chair. So are you accommodating them elsewhere?
So there are new positions on the orchestra level, but there is also another wheelchair position on the house left side of this.
So previously approved, it looks like there was a larger area and quantity of seats, and then new proposed on the right just looks like one. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. How can you decrease, or are they being accommodated elsewhere?
Well, in the existing condition, there are no ADA positions, but in the previously approved, after we presented the previously approved, Schubert mocked up this condition of bumping out this platform, and it resulted in sightline modifications of the seats behind, which is why we needed to adjust it to this position, which would reduce the sightline implications by a lot.
Okay. I mean, it's not our purview it's the building department to see that you're providing the right amount of handicap seats, but any renovation will trigger accessibility codes. So just want to see that you're providing.
If I may, we are adding significant number of accessible seating positions, in particular on the lower level where we've added a lot more. Well, and on the balcony level, in addition to the fact that we've made this proposed design makes it more feasible for people in wheelchairs and to enter the theater and really enjoy the theater with the elevators, with wider, better circulation, all of that, plus the additional seating at ADA seating at multiple levels.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't see any other raised hands. Last call for questions from the committee. Seeing none, I just had more of an information type question. You mentioned that the box height was being moved to accommodate the speakers to some degree. Has the technology of, well, I guess speaker technology evolved at all to make them smaller, or is there something special about these speakers that they still need to be, that size? They just being very large.
Anthony, why don't you address that?
Sure. So just in the question of the speakers and location and everything, the actual size and just like location wise, we try to have it always off of towards away from the proscenium. Speaker size is generally it hasn't seemed to decrease, unfortunately, even though you think that in this time it will. I know Valerie mentioned too with these boxes. I know this is something that we were going not via this public hearing, but as a speaker and a question of curiosity, yes, they haven't really have changed as far as dimensions wise. It seems like everything has increased when it comes to speakers.
Got it. Thank you for, I know that's not within the purview, but thank you for entertaining the question.
Absolutely.
People like the technical folks that want to make sure you hear the show.
For sure. And as you know, attendees, we want to hear the show. So I'm more just curious than anything else.
Of course.
Final call for questions. Okay, we will move to members of the public. Any questions from members of the public? For you Landmarks Committee members who are eagle-eyed, you might notice our former chairman is currently among the members of the public. He is a theater expert, so he decided to join us, albeit silently. No questions. No questions from member of the public. Okay, so we will move to business session. And just as a reminder, business session is typically when only members of the committee are allowed to speak, but we will allow relevant speakers if it's needed. Thoughts and questions from members of the committee? Anyone want to speak first? Tony, go ahead.
Thanks, Kevin. Just, you know, looking at the three parts of their overall project or their altered application from what we saw last summer. You know, if we look at the first one with the stair removal, I mean, they're utilizing historic material that's there in another component of the project. That's exactly what we want to see, along with all the work on the rear wall, the restoration work. I think is fantastic. The removal of the stairwell itself, it does seem like it makes more sense for functionality regarding patronage flow and all of that. So it seems to make sense that it's necessary, but they're doing it the right way. We're maintaining the historic components in the theater. They're just getting moved. The boxes getting shortened. I mean, Kevin, I agree with you. There's so many components on the stage or all around the stage when it comes to sound and equipment. And I totally get that it's necessary, but it does kind of detract a little bit from all the beautiful detail that we see around this. So I think actually them shortening the box, not really detracting at all from the original material that's there, allowing us to see more of all that detail, whether it's restored or it's original, is a huge plus for us. And then the final component with the exit doors on the balcony, at the balcony level, I mean, if anything, it just makes it more symmetrical having them on each side. It's really a know-nothing wall with no detail. It seems to me, just like the previous application, they're doing things the right way.
Thank you.
Great. More comments, committee? Anyone opposed? Anyone have problems? No. Okay. I had a thought that might be the case. Anyone like to make a motion?
Motion to approve?
Okay.
Second.
Seconded. Thank you, Karen. Okay. Zona, you want to call the roll?
Yeah, absolutely. Klein,
Approve.
Dipple,
Approve.
Frizz,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Kabak,
Yes.
Mijatovic,
Yes.
Hagan,
Yes.
Patel.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't catch that one.
Yes.
Thank you. Tuckman,
Yes.
I am a yes. Pedrazi,
Yes.
Testa.
Yes.
Motion is approved unanimously.
Terrific. Congratulations. Thank you again to the whole team, Julio, Valerie, and Gary. It was a, terrific. This is a landmark among landmarks. So we really appreciate you all coming and giving your presentation and background on the design changes that you're making. Hopefully we can get that tour rescheduled. I know there's a lot of interest in seeing it and seeing what changes might be made directly. Again, you're not required to, but you're more than welcome to come and speak at the full public session where we'll take a full public board meeting, where we'll take a full vote, and that will become the official position of the community board. But otherwise, thank you all. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Community Board 5, and we look forward to touring you once we finish the project too.
For sure. We'll make
Thank
it
you.
two. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, last quick thing in our agenda. Anyone have new business? Seeing and hearing none.
Oh, I do.
Oh, Michael, sorry, I shouldn't. Go. The floor is yours.
Oh, okay. So, strange to report that nobody showed up for my walking tour yesterday. But be that as it may, I have a Sunday tour of the Flatiron District, which happens to be in Community Board number 5. And if you join me, I promise hours of entertaining and information. 11 o'clock at the point of the Flatiron Building, 23rd Street, 5th Avenue, Broadway intersection. I will be there. It'll be a beautiful day, 75 degrees, I understand.
And what do we get if we're dissatisfied?
You get a information-filled hour and a half to 2 hour walk around the perimeter and within Madison Square Park, learning about the statues that are there, learning about Winston Churchill's mother, who lived at the corner of 26th Street and Madison Avenue before she went over to England to marry Sir Randolph Churchill.
Oh, Michael, come on! I gave you a softball. Don't we get something back? If
You want the sex stuff?
No.
Refund.
We get double our money back. Julia knew. Yeah.
Well, I'll let you do that for me. It's old hat when I do it.
Got it. It's a class.
Anyway, join me. You won't be disappointed. Promise you a fun time.
Terrific. All right. Anyone else? Final shot? Okay. This meeting's officially adjourned. Great to see you all. Hopefully we'll see you all in person again someday. Stay warm out there, everybody.
Thanks, you too.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Night.